Hey there everybody, welcome back. This is episode 66 and this continues on from 65. In this video we're going to take this Dremel and we're going to see if we can finish up this glare shield. You can't really tell here, but I'm using my right hand to hold the Dremel and my left thumb on the bottom of the Dremel to help guide it and stabilize it. All right, so this is sort of done. I'll just touch it up here with a file and here with a file around the corner, and this will be done, and then I'll do the same thing over on that edge. Here it is. This one's complete. You can see how nice that works here when you grind that away in the corner, file it, use some sandpaper to clean it up. Now this edge here, I cut this long on purpose. This is about a ½ an inch too long, but I'll trim that a little bit later. Here is the new glare shield installed. So the two areas I have to work on are right here. This just gets bent around the tube, and then after I bend it, I'll cut off however much I need to here, maybe a ½ inch or so. And then up front, you can see I've got the two clecos in here at the firewall, and then I could just go ahead and match drill all the holes on the top of the firewall. Now to match drill those holes, I have a hole locator tool, and the way this works is you slip it over the skin, and that little point right here goes down into the hole, and then you put a drill bit through here, and since the skin is in between there, it drills a hole right where that is located. All I'm doing here is slipping the skin in between the tool, and then I'm trying to locate the little hole that's already on the firewall. Once that little pin is in the hole, then, sorry my hand is in the way, but I'm trying to hold the skin tight. But that's it, you just drill down through the big bushing that's on the tool, and it perfectly aligns the hole in the skin with the hole in the firewall. I got home from work yesterday and pretty much came straight into the hangar, and I finished match drilling all of these. I have the L angle supports under here, and for these two up top, this one and the one on the other side, I did have to make new ones because now with this firewall, you know, slightly back, this was too long. And now obviously I could just cut it to make it shorter, but then this hole right here wasn't right. And I couldn't just drill a new one because the new one was almost right next to this one. So I have plenty of this material left, so I just actually made two new angles, one for here and one for there. So now all four of those are done, and you can see them up under there. So that is all complete. The glare shield is done, but what I did realize is that I have to make another one of these also because I have in here the holes for the firewall. So now these are going to be offset. So I obviously have plenty of material. I will whip out a new one of those real quick. Now before I get busy making that little skin, I wanted to point out something about these L-angle brackets. What you're looking at here is the top of the instrument panel cut out, which is the primed green part. And then the background is the glare shield. And of course you see the L-angle. What's hard to see here though is right here, there is a flute on the instrument panel. And you can see the other one just to the left of that. But sometimes, depending on how they fluted your panel at the factory, these L-angles might go over part of those flutes. And then it won't, once you rivet it, it won't sit flush. So sometimes you might have to modify that L-angle a little bit. You can see here I cut out a little notch. And I just did that with a bandsaw, or you could use a nibbler, however you want to do it. But once you do that, you're going to have a 90-degree angle, which you don't want. So what I'm doing here is after I cut it out, I'm just taking a small circular file and rounding the corner so that there's no 90-degree angle and it won't be prone to cracks. Sometimes, depending on where that flute is on your panel, you might have to get a little creative in how you modify the end. So on this one, because the L angle sits on there at a little bit of an angle, I had to angle the edge, and then to go around the flute, you can see the shape I've cut into the edge of it, And then here you can see it on the underside of the panel, and you can see how it's cut out to fit around that flute. Here is my new piece that I cut out. I've cut down both sides here with the bandsaw, and then to get around the corner here, I cut out as close as I could with my nibbler. And now, just like the glare shield, to get around this nice big curve, I will use my handy dandy cordless Dremel. There's what it looks like, just a raw cut with the Dremel. Now just touch that up with a file on the edges and then some sandpaper in there. I'll get that side and this one will be done. Here is my new piece that I made. Just kidding, there's my new one. But you can see how easy it is to duplicate a part just by tracing it, cutting it, and match drilling it. So now I've got two of them. All right, here is this plate installed. It's all done. And I've opened up the holes. Now I think all of these holes have to get opened up to A5 size. I have to check the plans and double check. These can be A4s. Now you notice these two in the very front I didn't open up because I'm going to dimple these and use my solid rivets because the cowling is going to come back and overlap here. So I don't want a domed rivet on here, so I'll make these flush. Now the other thing you'll notice too is that my glare shield is longer than this, and same with down on the side here, it's just a little bit longer. And I did it on purpose because I don't know exactly how far the cowl is going to come back. So what I'll probably have to do is draw a line from here back down to the edge of here and trim off about a ½ inch of the front of the glare shield. So I'll kind of wait till I get the cowling sort of fit and just see how much room I have with the cowling to play with before I trim that, because I don't want this to be too short. The only thing I need to do to finish this glare shield is these two edges right here. Now these obviously are straight and they get bent around this tube, and then you can see there's a couple of rivets in there. To get the bend started, I just use a block of wood and bend it over. And then to finish it up, on my last one I took a plastic mallet that I have, and I just kind of beat this around. It really wasn't working trying to bend it with the wood, so I kind of had to beat it with the hammer. And that hammer has always been in this orange toolbox, and it's not in there, and I can't find it anywhere. I also can't find my filter for my shop vac that I had on my workbench because I need to change the filter in here. The only thing I can think of is my neighbor Brian and Gordon do have access to my garage code. And I have a feeling that when I'm not home, they're coming in here and stealing tools and parts, because every time I need a tool, I can't find it. Like, where's that hammer? It's always been in here. I've searched my entire hangar and I can't find it anywhere. But you know what? I do have some security footage. Maybe I'll take a look at that and see if I can figure out what's going on in here. All right, let's take a look here and see what we can see. Well, somebody's coming in here. Who is that? That's Brian. Oh, I knew it. I knew it was Brian. Look at him. That's him. Glass air guy. Coming in my hangar when I'm not home, stealing stuff. He doesn't even know I put in a security camera either. There's my hammer he took. What else is he going to take? Look at that. He just passed up all the avionics on the shelf. There goes my filter. I knew it. I knew it was him. Well, I've got proof now. Now it's time for revenge. All right, since the glare shield is pretty much done, I want to work on fitting the front windshield if I can. And what I've done is I've turned all of these clecos around and I've started clecoing them from the inside so I can get them out of the way of the windshield. So I'm going to put the windshield on here and see if these are in the way I don't think anything up here will be, but these ones might be in the way, but I could still maybe get it trimmed. I'm not sure how far down that windshield comes on here. But that's the next step. I'd like to get the windshield complete. Once that's done, I can work on the doors. Now the door frames are done, but I'd like to get the glass put into the door frames and then trimmed all the way around the edge. Once that's done, I can paint the door frames. And if I can get that top window put on and have these pieces drilled for that, I can take all of these off and get those painted. And what would be nice about that is once the fuselage is painted, then all of that stuff would just be ready to bolt right on. Put the windshield on, put the doors on, the glass would already be installed, top window would be ready just to screw on. And then I got to figure out if I want to make a fiberglass fairing that goes around the bottom of the front windshield like I did on my Cruiser, or if I just want to use the rubber trim that's provided with the kit. All right, I'm going to stop here on this video. This one was mostly about finishing up that glare shield. As you can see, the front windshield is just set on the airplane. I'll spend the next hour or two just kind of tediously trimming around the spar to get it to fit. But the windshield will be the topic of the next video. And I want to try to get this done before I get my panel back from Aircraft Specialty. If you haven't seen the previous video, my panel is out getting all the labeling silk screened. And once I get that back, I can install the panel, put the avionics in it, and really get going on the wiring. So I'd like to get this done before I get the panel back. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next episode.